that can go topless. Yes, the ant. Take these beautiful machines that have been collecting dust in our neglected garages. The convertible. Hello and welcome. Welcome to almost summer when we take off these beautiful machines that have been stashed away in the corner of our garages and enjoy them outside. You remember this car? This is our development NC Miata, an NC1. And just for reference, this car has headers, it has a catback exhaust, so it has a full exhaust, and it has a stock intake manifold with a stock intake and a K&N filter. And what I'm gonna show you next is a car that's got a slightly different setup, something that you don't see very often online, and I'm gonna show you what it takes to put that setup together and to make it run right, and we're gonna have a look at some power numbers. So follow me to another red Miata. What you see here is a different shade of red Miata. Now, this Miata has got some interesting bits and pieces that are different hours. It's got big Woolwood brakes. It's actually a really beautiful car. What really sets it apart and why it's on our dyno is because it came in not running correctly because, well, there's a number of reasons why it wasn't running correctly, but as a power adder, this car has the headers and the exhaust just like our car does, but if you look over on this side, you've got ITBs, a BBR kit. This is from the UK. They create ITBs for these cars. They do sound spectacular, and you're gonna have to hold on until a little bit later in this video to hear this roar on the dyno, but it came in just not running well at all. It didn't want to rev, had throttle stop codes, such as the throttle was either going out of bounds too low or too high, and it was overall just stuttering, just not running correctly. So some of the things that we had to do first mechanically to make sure that this runs correctly. One of them was that we had to make sure that this air rail, which is right here on the setup, was leak-free. There were a couple of fittings that had come loose, so if you have one of these kits, make sure that you are completely leak-free in this air rail. It is used to feed your brake booster as well. It's very important to be leak-free. The other thing that we spent a lot of time doing is making sure that the throttle is set correctly with respect to the motion of the electronic throttle actuator, which is kind of like the throttle body. So we used the Duratec software, and we had to sit there until we had the full range of motion of the throttle up to about 81-82% under wide open throttle, and it wasn't too low such that it was defaulting or faulting out on it being too closed, and was able to open all the way. So we spent quite a bit of time to get that dialed in. If you're getting throttle stuck closed or stuck open codes, you need to have that adjusted, and there's a mechanical adjuster there. We also made sure that all the individual throttles are opening correctly. So once that was mechanically fixed, then we jumped in and did what we do best: tuning. Let's talk about the results. Now, first of all, tuning was done via ECU Tech. They have a lot of software that's been well developed for this car, and we had to tune it using speed density because, well, there's obviously no way you're going to attach a mass airflow sensor to a individual throttle body setup. So this is all dialed in using speed density, using the Duratec software. We can do this on our dyno, we can do this remotely. So if you got one of these setups and you've taken care of all the mechanical parts, then it's time to get the tune properly dialed in. And this is a comparison with the solid line, the comparison between this car and the dotted line is our Miata, which has the more traditional manifold. Now you can see that there's definitely a difference in power. Up to about 3,000 RPM, you do lack a little bit of torque with the ITB setup. That is normal. It's simply the fact that they're just designed for upper end flow and they're not really designed for low end torque. So you have a lack of air velocity that's causing you to drop a little bit of torque up to that point. However, past 3,000 RPM, you can see that when this car is properly tuned, you are making well above what the otherwise original manifold will make on this car. Now the headers and the exhaust is not quite identical between our car and this one, but it offers you a good point of reference. So as you can see, our car peaked out at 162 effectively horsepower, and this one was almost exactly 20 wheel horsepower higher. And you can see that kind of torque across the board is higher, and you're looking at about well, right about 20 foot-pounds. So across the board past 3,000 RPM, you've got 20 foot-pounds more to play with. And the other nice thing is that you guys have heard outside is that this thing, it just responds beautifully. So we engage here. So just listen to this. You can see it. That's third gear. Oh yeah. She moves. So right now the dyno was not loading this car as it would be on the street, but you can just see the engine response that you get from these ITBs, and that's something that is definitely an improvement over the OEM setup. Now, is this the only way to make power? Absolutely not. These cars are turbocharged. These cars are supercharged. We even had one that was supercharged a little while ago. These cars are 2.5 liter swapped with cams. So there are multiple ways to skin the proverbial cat and enjoy your Miata more. However, we haven't seen much content on this kit. We haven't seen this kit before. We spent the time to dial it in on this beautiful car here. And if you guys have something similar, we're more than happy to help you get the most out of it. Tuning is very, very, very essential in getting a kit like this to run right on the car, and it's very possible the stock ECU. So thank you for watching. Subscribe for more similar content. Let us know if there's something that you want specifically covered. And if obviously we can help you out with tuning, then reach out to us, StratifiedAuto.com. See you guys next time, and enjoy your drop tops this summer and always.